The lie of stagnation. You're not stuck. You're just misdirected. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, yet nothing changes? You pray, try to stay faithful, read self-help books, even start a new routine here and there. But deep down, it feels like you're trapped in a reality that won't move. Like your life hit the pause button while the world keeps spinning outside. And maybe, quietly, you've been asking yourself, is there something wrong with me? But what if the truth is something else? What if I told you that in 30 days you could change your reality? But it all begins the moment you stop believing you're stuck. The lie of stagnation. You're not stuck. You're just misdirected. It might sound harsh, but it's actually freeing. Because here's the truth no one ever told you. You're not stuck because you lack ability. You're stuck because of your mental and spiritual programming. Tracy said it best. You become what you think about most of the time. That means your circumstances aren't what shape your life the most. It's your recurring thoughts, repeated emotions, how you see yourself, and how you see God. If you keep saying things like, I can't, nothing ever changes, it's always harder for me, you're unknowingly feeding the very reality you want to break free from. Because stagnation isn't bad luck, it's a buildup of limiting beliefs and a lack of intentional focus. But here's the good news. Beliefs can be reprogrammed. Focus can be trained. Reality can be transformed. You don't need an instant miracle. You need 30 days of action with awareness, faith, and direction. And that's exactly what this video is here to offer you. This isn't just another motivational video. It's a deep, transformational guide, mentally, spiritually, and strategically. A call to stop running in circles, to take back control of your mind, to activate spiritual and practical tools that are already within your reach. Because the truth is, nothing thrives in confusion. Everything flows from clarity. And clarity begins when you choose to believe again. Not out of emotion, but out of conviction. Not out of desperation, but from alignment with who God created you to be. You're about to take a step you may have been waiting for your whole life. And that step starts with one decision. Stop surviving. Start transforming. Because in the end, it's not about waiting for the right time. It's about choosing to begin with clarity, intention, and faith.
Rewrite your inner code, the power of daily declarations. Everything you're living today is a direct reflection of the story your mind has been telling you over the past few months and that you chose to believe. Maybe that story is subtle but deeply rooted. I'm not good enough. Things never work out for me. It's too late to change. These phrases, even when left unsaid, form the invisible foundation of your decisions, actions, and limitations. They silently shape your identity and determine how far you allow yourself to go. But here's the good news. Stories can be rewritten. Mental codes can be reprogrammed. Identity can be rebuilt through the power of words and emotional repetition. Tracy teaches, the constant repetition of positive affirmations reprograms your subconscious mind and transforms your reality. This isn't magic, and it's definitely not self-deception. It's applied neuroscience. It's spirituality in motion. It's the living word being planted, nurtured, and transforming the soil of your soul. Dr. Joe Dispenza says it clearly. You don't change through willpower. You change through the emotional repetition of a new truth. In other words, true change doesn't happen when you try harder. It begins when you consistently insert a new truth, one that's felt, spoken, and lived into your inner code. That's why here's a simple yet deeply powerful practice. How to use the 3 declarations a day rule. For the next 30 days, commit to this exercise. Every day, say out loud, preferably in the morning when your brain is still in alpha state, and before bed when your subconscious is most receptive. 1. Who you are in God. I am chosen, intelligent, and guided by the Spirit. This isn't ego, it's restored identity. You're telling your soul it has divine origin, eternal purpose, and clear direction. 2. What you're building. Today I act with clarity, focus, and courage. This statement places your mind in a state of action, not out of anxiety, but with authority. You stop reacting to the day and start leading it. 3. What is already real by faith. My reality is changing because my mind is being renewed. Here you activate the biblical principle of faith, calling things that are not as though they already were. You're not denying your current reality. You're declaring what's becoming real in alignment with God. But remember, the secret isn't just repeating. It's to feel, believe, and act in alignment with what you declare. Without emotion, the affirmation is empty. Without faith, it's just noise. Without action, it's just theory. Daily declarations aren't magic. They're intentional seed plantings in the soil of your mind and spirit. And the Bible is clear about the power of this. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Your words aren't just sounds, they're seeds. Your words plant realities. Your declarations build neurological and spiritual pathways. What you declare in faith becomes internal pattern and external reality. This is science and faith working together. Neuroscience shows that our brains respond to emotional repetition by forming new synaptic connections. The human spirit responds with a new vibrational pattern, a new frequency that draws in people, ideas, opportunities, and direction aligned with your inner truth. You're not just saying words. You're programming your mind to stop sabotaging your journey and start cooperating with your purpose. So hold on to this anchor phrase. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you emotionally believe in consistently. It's not enough to dream of a different life. You must declare that life with faith every day until your mind accepts it as your new normal and begins to manifest it in the real world. Purpose-driven planning, the rule of 3 focuses. You don't have to do everything. You just need to focus on what truly moves the needle. In times of hurry, information overload, and constant comparison, it's easy to fall into the trap of trying to change your whole life all at once. The motivation might hit hard at first, but it quickly gets swallowed by reality. Too many tasks, too many goals, and not enough direction. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make when seeking change, trying to change everything at the same time. The result? Burnout, frustration, overwhelm. That suffocating feeling of moving a lot, but getting nowhere. Here's the key that can change everything. Transformation doesn't come from quantity. It grows in the soil of clarity and consistency. And that's exactly why you need a plan. But not just any plan, a plan with purpose, structure, and spiritual focus. The 3 focus method. For the next 30 days, your challenge is to align intention with direction. And you'll do it through a simple yet powerful practice, choosing 3 essential focuses.
These three focuses represent the three dimensions that support any real change: mind, spirit, and practical action. Here's how it works. 1. A mental focus. Choose one area of your mind you want to realign. Example: reduce negative thoughts. Practice daily gratitude. This mental focus is like cleaning the windows through which you see the world. Without mental clarity, even blessings look blurry. 2. A spiritual focus. Choose a practice that nourishes your connection with God. Example: daily time in prayer and Bible meditation. This isn't about ritual, it's about roots. Spirituality is what anchors your identity beyond circumstances. It's the strength that doesn't come from you, but flows through you. 3. A practical focus. Choose a concrete action you can take. Example: execute a project, organize your routine, start a new discipline. Now that you have your three focuses, divide your monthly goal into 4 weeks. For each week, write down 3 micro-actions that support each focus. For example, for the mental focus, write down 3 things you're grateful for every morning. For the spiritual focus, read 1 Bible verse and meditate for 5 minutes. For the practical focus, block 1 hour to develop a project or habit. Each week, review, adjust, and celebrate. Every day, dedicate at least 30 minutes with intention. This simple practice turns chaos into direction, turns overwhelm into clarity, and turns the desire to change into a real plan for transformation. Anchor phrase: you can't change what you don't organize, and you can't sustain what you don't prioritize. The clarity of your focus defines the strength of your action, and today's discipline is tomorrow's harvest. You weren't created to live by chance. You were created to partner with God's purpose, and that takes intentionality. Spiritual foundation. To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. This isn't just a beautiful phrase, it's a sacred reminder. God moves in time, but He expects you to honor time with wisdom. Procrastination isn't lack of strength, it's lack of focus. Disorder isn't just a practical issue, it's a spiritual noise that blocks divine clarity. Planning doesn't limit faith, it gives form to what faith wants to manifest. Faith without structure is just a dream. Faith with structure becomes a buildable reality. You don't have to do it all, but you do need to act with clarity, with purpose, and with consistency.
Spiritual alignment, guided prayer, and word meditation. Many people want to change their reality, but they try to do it with willpower alone without inner presence. They add discipline to their calendar, but not direction to their spirit. They make strategic decisions, but never consult the voice that truly guides. And what happens? Without spiritual direction, every strategy turns into anxiety. Every decision becomes a burden. Every step forward leads to exhaustion. You may even move forward, but you carry it all alone. And eventually, weariness crushes motivation, because no mind can sustain what the soul cannot carry. That's why real change starts with one essential step: aligning your soul with the Spirit. Alignment isn't just praying to ask for something. It's positioning yourself to listen. It's creating inner space to receive wisdom, not from your logical mind, but from divine presence. This is the kind of practice that never goes viral, but it's the one silently sustaining the greatest miracles you'll ever see manifest in your life. The method: 15 minutes a day of alignment. For the next 30 days, set aside a fixed time each day for this practice, preferably in the morning before the world distracts you, or at night when your mind begins to slow down. You'll move through 3 simple yet deeply transformative spiritual steps. Read for 3 minutes. Choose a Bible verse. Don't rush through it. Don't read out of obligation. Read with an open heart, like hearing a love letter written just for you. Then ask, what is God showing me here today? Maybe the answer comes as a word, a feeling, or a memory. Trust the subtlety. God doesn't always speak loudly, but He always speaks clearly. Pray for 7 minutes. This is your focused conversation, not a tired repetition, but conscious dialogue. Ask for clarity, strength, and faith to sustain your 3 daily focuses. Present your intentions, your fears, your plans to God. And most of all, give thanks in advance, because gratefulness in advance is the sign of mature faith. It shows you trust who God is, not just what He can do. Be still. 5 minutes. Be silent. Just be. Breathe with awareness. Feel the air come in and go out, and allow the Spirit to minister to your inner being. This is the step most people skip, and yet it's the most powerful. In stillness, God reveals. In stillness, He heals. In stillness, He strengthens. Anchor verse: be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. This isn't just a spiritual suggestion, it's a daily transformation code. Renewing the mind isn't about consuming more content, it's about making room. It's about listening again with a new heart. It's about discerning what God wants to do in you before He does it through you. To renew the mind equals to open space to listen, discern, and act in truth. And when that truth is internalized, it becomes direction, conviction, and strength. It helps you walk without seeing, but also without doubting. Bonus tip: at the end of your practice, write down one sentence, a phrase, insight, or impression that came during your time. Don't overthink it. Just write from the heart. Then declare that phrase throughout the day. Example: today I walk in clarity because God has already released direction. That phrase becomes your spiritual anchor, a constant reminder that you're not alone, not lost, not improvising. You are being guided. And when you are guided, you walk with confidence even into the unknown. External reality begins to align when your soul submits to the voice of God. It's not about doing more. It's about listening better. It's not about control. It's about surrendering wisely. This simple 15-minute practice may seem small today, but it could be the very thing that sustains your next season of victory. Because you don't win just by planning. You win through divine presence and inner alignment.
In 30 days, you won't be the same. God has already given you the tools. If you apply what you've heard here, it won't just be your routine that changes. It'll be your mind, your faith, and your reality. This 30-day journey isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's not about speeding up. It's about aligning. You already have everything you need: clarity to see, a method to walk, the word to sustain you, spiritual direction to keep going. Now there's only one thing left: commitment. Because real transformation doesn't come from a moment of inspiration. It comes from the firm decision of someone who's tired of just surviving and ready to live with purpose. Brian Tracy once said it with wisdom: successful people aren't more intelligent, they're just more committed to clear decisions. That means you don't need to be perfect. You need to be steady. You need to choose with your whole heart. And this truth is echoed in Scripture. Choose this day whom you will serve. Joshua 24:15. That's not just an ancient question. It's a present-day calling. Today, you're standing in front of a choice. Keep living as you are, or dedicate the next 30 days as a seed of discipline, of faith, of focus. And what does God do with seeds planted in good soil? He responds with harvest. Because heaven honors firm decisions, and if you plant consistency with conviction, God plants miracles with precision. Today is more than just another day. It could be your day one. Write today's date, not as a calendar mark, but as a milestone in your story. Drop a comment. Today is my day one. I'm committed to my transformation. Not for vanity, but out of responsibility for your own story. Save this video. Revisit it whenever your mind wants to quit. Share it with someone who needs direction, not just motivation. And commit to coming back in 30 days with a testimony, even if it's small, as long as it's real. Because if you apply this, you'll live what today still feels impossible. 30 days may not change everything, but they can change you, and that changes everything. You are not alone. You are guided, and this is just the beginning.